When I get lost in my thoughts sometimes, it's usually at night. It always happens at night for some reason. It happened right now, even in my car. I think about my life and I think about how lost I truly am. Our earth is figuratively or literally lost in space. It's a rock floating in the middle of nowhere that no one other than us humans probably know about. And I look at my life and my future is floating in the distance, just far enough where I cannot see it, where I cannot predict it. And that fact scares me because I like control. I like planning my days and knowing what I'm going to do. I think a lot of people like that. When I wake up without a plan, I find that I waste my time sometimes just defaulting to my phone because it's the easiest thing I can do rather than just going outside and maybe going for a drive and finding something to do, calling someone, figuring something out. And so the anxiety of being lost scares me. But when I really think about it, I wouldn't trade this feeling for anything. If God gave me the opportunity and He said, hey, I could give you your entire life path, life story right now, who who are you gonna marry, which girl you have to ask for a number, and that person's gonna be your wife, which job you have to network for, I wouldn't want to know that. It kind of defeat the purpose of life of figuring it out. Because as much as it is anxiety inducing, thinking about all the things that you could be, all the things that you could fail at, all the things that you could even die trying. If I go skydiving, what if my parachute fails? It's scary, but it is also fun. You look at a basketball player. A basketball player doesn't know what move he's gonna do. He just reacts to the defender and he says, I like that one. Let me go this way. Dribble. Oh, let me go that. Oh, let me shoot it. I'm open. And it's the same thing with life. You really don't know what you're gonna do. You just react to things. Sometimes you're proactive. You take care of your body and you go to the gym. But in reality, most of our things are reactions. You're reacting to your thoughts. You're reacting to your emotions. You're reacting to other people. You're reacting to what car does what on the highway so you don't get into an accident. Even now, as I'm speaking, I don't know what I'm going to say after my sentence. I'm just figuring it out along the way. And that's what life is really all about. When I sit down and think, I think about how lost I am, and I think about how much I like that feeling of being lost. Because it also allows me to be grateful for the present. because I'm not, because I take those worries and I accept them, and I realize that I will never figure them out. I first enjoy what I have. I first enjoy that feeling of being lost, but then I take extra protection and extra gratitude towards the things in my life. I look at my family, I look at, my brother, my parents, my friends, this YouTube channel, my books, everything about me, this car that my dad gave me, this book that my mom gave me, Going Beyond the Mind. And I realize how appreciative I should be towards these things. Because maybe in the unknowable future that I can't predict, I might not have these things or these people. And so those little things start to mean more in my life. I've started to enjoy a simple life more. If I was gonna die tomorrow, if I was gonna die sometime like soon, without reaching the age of 60, 70, 80, if I live the life that I'm living right now, the way I live it, the way I try my best to be present, to not rush, to take my time, to enjoy, I think I would be fine with that. Maybe I wouldn't go to Europe and travel the world. Maybe I wouldn't climb mountains or skydive. But just those memories with my family, Just the action of doing small things, like writing in a notebook or talking to a camera. I could find I could find peace or happiness in those. But after all of those thoughts go away, after the feeling of being lost goes away, after the feeling of immense gratitude for where I am, who I am today, I look at my past. It goes worrying about the future, enjoying the present, and thinking about the past. I realized that, I had to be someone kind of special to be where I am today. I had to do something right alongside luck and all of God's work. But spiritualism aside, I had to make some decisions, do some things to get where I am today. And so knowing that I have it's an unwavering belief that I will figure it out. It's kind of like being in a maze. That's the analogy that I use. I'm in this maze of life, and maybe I'm lost in the maze, but really I'm not lost. I'm just trying things out, and I know eventually I'm gonna get to the end. I have a bunch of pylons. Whenever I reach a dead end, I just put a pylon there so I can't go back to that area, that mistake that I made. And I keep on trying and trying until I get to the end of the maze. But it's always so funny. Once you reach the end, you enter a bigger maze, a harder maze. It's like once you graduate high school, you enter university. Once you enter university, like you're entering real life, and that is just, life is just trying to, that's a word that I want to say, but I really shouldn't say it on camera, so I'm not gonna say it. But it's that being in the light, being in that maze of life. But I also have a unwavering belief that I will figure it out. That is what drives me. I can only see one step ahead of me, but that's all that I really need to see. And lastly, once I reach the last layer, we go future, we go present, we go past. Then we reach some next divine new time period, fourth dimension happening inside of my mind. I realize that me labeling myself as lost, I'm the one doing that to myself. I'm the one causing myself all of these worries, all of these problems. If a girl, if I'm dating a girl and she breaks up with me, I myself allowed myself to get attached and then get hurt, which is okay. Being hurt is okay. But that's the risk you sign up for if you're dating a girl. But it's me doing it to me. My anxiety is me doing it to me. Me feeling lost is me doing it to me. And so you watching this video, a lot of the things you do, you feel are probably a product of your own imagination, thought process, mindset, and you are allowed to dictate that. I am allowed to take my label, take who I am, what I think, and say, reprogram it from I'm lost to I am, I'm living. I'll figure it out, but I'm living. I have a couple plans in motion, but I'm just gonna live. And so being lost is a trick in our own mind, but as long as you have the self-belief, the dedication, the work ethic, the consistency to handle that feeling and feel it and push through, you'll figure life out. If I believe in you, you'll figure it out. Take care.